What's up guys, Big Poppa Leadz here. In today's video, I'm going to go over how I would write solar ads if I was in solar. I am not in solar, but there's plenty of you on the YouTube channel and in the free and Skool and bootcamp and even our high performance program that are in solar. So I wanted to go over today some tactics for writing solar ads because I know it's obviously a very big industry, very fast growing industry. So I'm going to go over the process that I would go through. And I've set up some ads here to show you guys what it would look like. You've maybe seen my other videos of me kind of going through some ads. So I want to make just an update on the video. And maybe I'll run this and make an update video on or something on it. But I think what a lot of people are struggling with is just really hooking the audience and standing out in a busy kind of sea of ads. So let's take a look here. What I would do if I was going to solar, again, if I was selling leads, that's one conversation. If I was going to close leads myself, that's another conversation. If I was selling leads, I would look for kind of the mid markets to go into. I wouldn't be focusing on California or maybe even Florida. Florida can definitely work, but California, for whatever reason, is just a poop show. So I try to avoid California. Go into a single market. Maybe it's South Carolina, as I've done here, North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Tennessee. Go into a market that you can kind of take over a state in, and you're going to have tons of different providers and installers to work with on a more local level to start with. That's a really great place to start. And if you're a salesperson, all these concepts are going to apply to you as well so that you can get cheaper leads, close deals, make commission, all that good stuff. So what I like to do when I'm setting up my ads is I like to start with a lead form. Lead forms allow you to test very quickly to see if your creative is working. So I've set up this lead form, and what I'm going to look for is when I turn this lead form on is, number one, did I get a Facebook lead for a cost that makes sense? Let's say I got a lead for $30 and my commission on a closed deal is, $1,000. I know I can sell the lead for $60. Okay, well, if I get the lead for 30, if I close 1 in 10, it costs me $300 to make 1,000. If I get the lead for 30 and I could sell for 60, I've made $30 if I can keep that going consistently. But if I'm not getting leads, I would then go and look at my click-through rate. If my click-through rate is under 1%, I know that my creatives aren't really resonating with the audience. Less than 1% of people are clicking on them, or something to do with my targeting is maybe off. I'm targeting, people who love Ford F550s and diesel pushers. They don't care about solar. So I need to change my targeting so that my click-through rate will improve. I'm always personally looking for a click-through rate over 2%. That's kind of a sweet spot. But as long as yours is over 1%, you're kind of on the right track. So just a quick tip there for what to look for. And this is kind of a really bird's eye view crash course of, again, how to write solar ads, guys. I'll even go into some example ads in here. I'll show you my ads. When I go into targeting, kind of two options here. So if I'm doing South Carolina or like a smaller area, I prefer to do no interest targeting and kind of keep my audience around that million mark. Targeting age 33 to 64, hopefully getting some homeowners. If you do 65 plus, you tend to get people who maybe don't have income, they're retired, they're on Social Security, whatever it might be, just kind of tire kicking. So I tend to leave that out. And then if I was going broader than just a single state, I might do some detailed targeting around kind of solar interests. But for the most part, I prefer to keep it pretty broad. Again, and I am running this just as a test with a lead form so I can move to a lander, because I always want to move to a lander. Lead forms look great when you're getting a low cost per lead, but then you close 1 in 100 of them and you're not as happy. So here's some examples of ads that I wrote. If you join the free Skool and DM me, I will just give you all of these ads. So join the free Skool, guys. That's what this video is brought to you by. And you can also join the bootcamp for $99. Tons of people doing solar in there. Not too many though, but tons of people doing solar. $99. You can get all of our templates in the bootcamp, and you also get a call weekly with the group with myself. Usually it's not super busy, so there's lots of time to ask questions. We had like 10 people on this week, and we were just rapid firing a Q&A with myself, and it was super fun as usual. So join the bootcamp for $99, guys. It's honestly, like, I know I'm biased, but it is a no-brainer. Give so much stuff away in the bootcamp, it's not even funny. So just join it and try it. You can cancel if you don't like it, but I think you will. Okay, so here's the ads. I've got all of my favorite types of ads here. I've got kind of like a little bit of a cheeky one. No, solar isn't free, because everyone runs those free solar ads. but you could save that much in South Carolina. I've got my ugly ad here, just like kind of like text on a forum. I've got my South Carolina flag and how energy rates are set to rise as a hook. I've got my breaking news ad. I've got a generic house with solar panels on it. I'd probably run some, I mean, that looks like a kind of normal house. We don't want too corporate of a photo. This photo I just thought was interesting because it's a dude, you know, I don't know what he's doing. He's setting up a solar farm or something. And then this is more of a less corporate looking stock photo. I really like to use less corporate stock photos. And I have a video that's either come up before this or after this. And I'm wearing the same thing because it's filmed the same night. And it's 9 o'clock, guys. I'm tired. But I filmed that video and I talked all about how to write ads. So watch that video in tandem with this. And hopefully this video is relevant regardless of if you're doing solar or not, because a lot of these concepts are going to apply. So most basic ad I could ever show you: attention, state, residents, call it your audience. Did you know energy costs are set to rise? Identify the problem. But did you know that many South Carolina residents are cutting energy costs by 70% or more? How do you ask? How you ask? And did we mention, I don't know what I was thinking here. I wrote these pretty quick, but you get the idea. Did we mention the 25% tax credit for those that qualify? See if you qualify below. Okay, so again, identify the problem. But hey, there's actually this new thing that you don't know about, and you can get up to 25% tax credit, or maybe you'd say up to $20,000 in tax credits. See if you qualify for this unique plan or whatever below. This is a more long form ad. I usually don't go this long form. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a story here. No, solar isn't free, but that's what everyone is advertising, ... It's hard to know what's even true at this point. So that's why we love busting myths. Here's the truth. If you live in the Carolinas or South Carolina, then maybe you've heard, and then I use the electricity company here. They're going to increase rates, but you also may qualify to save 25% of your panels. Installing the system, you can save $120 a month off your bill. Again, I'm kind of long forming this a little bit. When you're starting out, you can write short form ads like this, rotate, different hooks and offers into this. Try your ads. Here's some headlines I've written. Anyways, this is what I would do to start. I would start to run this and I would check out what the results are, and then kind of go from there. So after that, after I've run my lead form, I want to move to a lander as quick as possible. So what I'm going to do is take my winning creatives from this one, which I think this is just the same ads, but you'll kind of get the idea. I take my winning creatives. I've even written another one here. Take my winning creatives and then start to push them to a lander, because what happens when you run a lead form is you're getting traffic that is likely to convert on the lead form. And I know I've said this 1,000 times, but guys, you need to hear this. You get traffic that's likely to convert on a lead form, which is people who love entering lead forms and not picking up the phone. If you run to a landing page, you get traffic that's likely to convert on a landing page, which means they are more likely to go through a more in-depth quiz and fill out a form. So this is just an example of a landing page. It's kind of one of our dummy brands we have. Same with Henry. We've kind of run tests with Henry a lot. And here's the kind of first headline: new 2024 solar incentives for South Carolina. New, so there's some exclusivity, there's some urgency. They're just this year, we could say not going to be around in 2025. South Carolina, call it the audience. Residents can save up to $200 per month off their bill by going solar. We help you find the best price on panels and the top rebates available. You could also say, it's not a one size fits all. So we can help you find the best installer in your area, or we can help you get the best rebate or the best, the cheapest panels, whatever. You can try a bunch of different hooks there, and you need to try a bunch of different hooks. I cannot just give you the best solar hook that's going to work 100% of the time. You need to go and test out as many offers and hooks as humanly possible. Then we've got our quiz here, and this quiz, that should really say, do you live in South Carolina? Do you own or rent your home? Relevant question. What's your average monthly electricity bill? $225. And again, even if you added these questions to a lead form, you're going to get a better quality lead on the lead form than just having the generic questions, but this is always going to be even better. Do you have a household income over 40K? I thought this was relevant just if people can afford it. What's your employment status? Do you live in a mobile home? You can't get solar panels if you have a mobile home, at least as far as I know. What's your full address? And then we type that into Google. Oops, what am I doing? Put in my mailbox address. I live 5 minutes from Washington, here in Aldergrove, British Columbia, Canada. I go across to get my mail. And then you put the information in. You can text verify as well using Go High Level. We show you how to do that in the boot camp. Another obvious reason to join the bootcamp, guys. You can text verify these numbers. You're going to get a much better quality lead off this lander, and that is why you need to go to a lander. This is unbalanced. I could test 100 different headlines and give them 1% each traffic if I wanted to. I don't do that. I usually do up to like maybe 10 of them at 10% each, and I can test all these different headlines just like I'm testing Facebook ads. Go high level, you can only test 2 variants, and it's really hard to know what's going on. So it's worth the money, the $97 a month to go with unbalanced. I think you get it for $80 if you use our code in the description. And you don't necessarily need a leads hook quiz either. You could just use a form to start out and then move to leads hook or get lead forms later. So, it's just worth it, guys. It's worth it if you want to get the best quality leads, but start with lead forms and test, and then move to the lander after. And then in terms of scaling, what I would do after this is I've got $50 per day budget. If I'm starting to get website leads at $30 and I'm happy with that, I would start to scale this by 10% per day. But I probably want to scale quickly if I'm selling leads or closing them myself and I'm having success. So I always like to kind of scale horizontally. I like to scale horizontally by duplicating my ad sets and then running some new creatives to test against that winning ad set, and I can then double my budget instantly by doing that. There is the threat of cannibalization, but at a $50 per day budget, I've never had issues with it. I've run multiple $100 per day ad sets that are targeting the same audience, and Facebook tells you they're gonna cannibalize each other, but I haven't found that to be the case. Sorry guys, I'm mumbling. It is getting late here. But hopefully that was helpful. This is how I write my ads. This is how I set up my campaigns. And just so you guys know, I'm using leads, always leads, never traffic, always leads. You go in and your first campaign is going to be always use manually leads campaign, never use tailored. Go into here. And again, I know I'm starting back over again and showing you what to do, but I thought I should mention this. Campaign objective is leads, and you can start with instant forms, and then you're going to move to website once you want to do a landing page, set up your pixel, all that good kind of stuff, and maximize number of leads. So those are the basic things that I use, guys, to generate leads. Maybe I'll do a follow-up to this and actually run these ads. I don't know if I want to spend money on that, but maybe you'll see a follow-up video. Hopefully this video was helpful, and yeah, guys, join the free school below. Again, absolutely free, and we'll see you in the next video. Big Poppa Leadz is going to sleep. He's tired.